Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Hello, hello. My my sister-in-law has it on the TV and it's far delayed, so I was a little thrown by that. So how's everybody doing today? So this is my first daytime live for Pink and Maine, and my plan is to keep doing these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whenever I can, if I have no conflicts. So thank you for tuning in to our kickoff. It's going to be a fun little group, I'm sure, 'cause it's a little last minute notification to everybody that we're doing this. So can you guys see and hear me okay? I just want to make sure. Hi, Holly. Hi, Lee. Hello, Kathy. And hello, Brianne with the wrench. My friend Brianne has been added as a moderator to our site so that if there's anything that she can help with, she can. So which is awesome when she's able to be here. And hello, Pamela, as well. All right. So today I'm going to be making a card using a product from the new September release from Pink and Maine, a holiday card. So that will be fun. And so let me go ahead and I'm going to wait a second, actually. So I'm going to wait and see if anyone else pops in, and then I'm going to go to my overhead camera and start going. But this is the card that we're going to make. So it has a fun background that's been part of the Pink and Maine line for a while. And then this cute little, there it is, that cute little Santa Claus. So we're going to be doing some Copic coloring. We're going to be doing a fun paper piece background. Going to add a little glitter. Going to add some enamel dots. So that's the plan for today. If that interests you, I'm happy to have you here with me creating. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the overhead camera and get started. Okay, so this is the stamp set that we're using. Sorry for all the glare. It is called Chili Treats, and it's so adorable. I just love it. I have some other cards that I made for the release, and so I may make those on lives in the future as well. But Holly, I'm sorry, I didn't warn you that we're doing treats with faces. Holly's not a fan of food with faces, but I'm trying to convince her that she needs to be. Because I mean, look at how cute are these? And these in this set, it's not just random food. They are things that would normally have faces, like penguins and a Santa and a cute little Mrs. Claus and a Christmas tree, a polar bear, another Santa, a little elf, and a reindeer and a snowman. Just really cute. Super, super cute and yummy. All right, so that is what we're coloring. I'll set that aside, set my card aside out of the way as well. And this does have coordinating dies if that's something that you like to use. They are available as well. I pulled out some Olo markers to color with. This is my color palette. Hopefully I've pulled everything that I need for this. One thing that I like to do for my Olo coloring, I have been using Olos rather than Copics. I go back and forth because I do have both, but I love them both. But this is what I did for my Olos. I printed out this from Sandy Allnock's artclasses.com website and colored this in with my markers. And it's just some good blending trios to use. And so this is what I refer to first when I'm starting to color, just to get some ideas in my head of colors to blend with, because I'm not a super duper experienced colorer. I love to color, but I don't do it all the time that I just know all the colors in and out. So I like to have something like this to refer to. I also did her hex chart on her site and colored that as well. So I have this as a good thing to refer to as well. So these are great tools if you're new to Olo to really help you learn them and start using them. And Olos are something that Pink and Maine carries on our website as well, I believe. I hope I'm not lying about that. All right, so I did go ahead and already cut out my little, stamp and cut out my little snowman, not snowman, Santa ice cream. And this is what we're going to be coloring. Unfortunately, with my current setup, I can't zoom in any more than this. I am going to fix this eventually, hopefully soon. So I will color a little and then I'll hold it up for you guys to see like this. So bear with me on that. Hopefully soon I'll have a better Zoom situation for when I'm coloring live. Okay, so let's just dig in. I think I'm going to start with his face. I often start with faces when I'm coloring something with a face. And for that, I'm using the R0.2 and the R0.1. So I'm going to start with the outside, 0.2, and just add a little bit of darker color around the edges. And when I'm coloring with alcohol markers of any sort, again, I don't claim to be an expert. I have fun with it and I like to do it and get the job done. But I kind of play around with it. So you might even see me on this. I'm not always sure where I want the ink to be. So I might add some color and then go back in with more color and, keep going back and forth with it. So this is where we are so far. I just put a little bit of that around the edge. Now, one thing I learned from Lori Craig, if you are going back and forth, Lori works for Olo Markers, and she's really wonderful at coloring. And one thing she says is that if you're going to be going back and forth a lot with colors, it's best to just leave the lids off rather than popping them on and off, because when you do that, that builds up a little pressure in the marker, and that can lead to those bloops of ink that you might get. And so now when I'm coloring, I just leave the markers off. They're not going to dry out in this little bit of time that I'm coloring with them. So now I'm going back with the darker of the two colors again to add a little bit more contrast around the edges. These colors are very close together. I probably could have went a little bit more of a step to really add some difference in that. Hello, Roberta. I didn't see you pop in. Nice to see you, friend. All right. I always like to add pink cheeks to all my things that I color with faces, but I'm going to wait and let that marker dry a little more because the paper is right now saturated with marker, and I like to give it a little time to dry, and then that pink will really show up. If I did it right away, that pink would kind of seep right into the other color and wouldn't show up as much. So we'll come back to that. And I think now I'll just move down to our fun little waffle bowl here, and I'm going to color that in browns. Since it does look like a waffle. And these are colors that I picked from that chart I showed you. So I'm using this trio of colors to do the brown part of the bowl and some of the treats as well. All right, so again, I'm going to start with my darker and go around the edges. My sister-in-law, Lori, is here with me. Some of you have met Lori before. Well, Brianne, I guess you're the only one who really has. I don't know if anyone's watching who's been with us at Crop on the Cape or anything, but she's here visiting from Michigan, and she's in the room with me. So if you suddenly hear a loud noise, it's Lori. She just gasped when I said that. So she's been here all weekend because we both did, well, I taught at the Crop and Create Delivered event, which was amazing. And she was an attendee, so I had all her products here. So I still want to play with more of it. I just kind of, during that weekend, I had all the stuff here I could have been making with her the whole time, but I like to just stare at the videos and read the comments, so I can't get anything done. It's kind of funny. Hi, Barbie. They are liquid inks, no filler, to cause the marker to dry out. There you go, Roberta. There's a good tip from Roberta. I didn't know that. And Lee says she met you online. Brianne says, hello, Lori. All right. So now I'm going with the second. I'm going out of the lines like mad here, but that's going to be covered with red, and we're not going to worry about it. And if we go outside of the lines where it should be white, I just fix that with my white gel pen. So we'll be all good at the end with all my messy coloring. Here's a tip. Never look over at comments while you're putting ink to your paper. You're sure to go out of the lines. I'm sure that's a big concern for a lot of you. Roberta says hi as well. Do you see the comments too? Or are you? No, you don't have to. I just didn't know if you knew that people were saying hi to you. Oh, Lee put in another order. Let's see. Yes, I had fun live chatting with Brianne and Jen. We were chatting outside of the videos, but on our phones during the event. So that's fun as well. Okay, and then my lightest for that little center area. I call it scrubbing. I just kind of scrub the ink to try to blend it together. That's how I color. If you really want to learn some great coloring tips, I'd recommend you go to Jen Shirkus's site. She has a Copic Coloring 101, but those Copic ideas apply to any alcohol markers, and so they would help you with your Olo marker coloring as well. So that's where we're at with that. I think it looks pretty okay. So I'm going to let it dry a little and see if I still love it once it's dried. It's a little bit, looks a little different than my original that I did a couple weeks ago. Maybe I didn't use these exact colors before. I don't know. But it's working for me. All right, I'm going to stop with that for a bit. Stick these lids back on. Oh, Lee said she had 3 Pink and Main orders in September and wonders what October will bring. Well, I know what our release is in October, and how do I say without giving anything away? I will just say our mountain dwelling friend may really like the October release, at least some parts of it. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Let's do some reds on the Santa hat and on our little dripping of this is what I did on this one. Okay. So I put red dripping over the sides, which is kind of, I don't know. I hope that doesn't look like blood. It only just occurred to me that it might. I wonder if that should have been chocolate. Anyway, no, I cannot believe tomorrow is October. I don't even want to think about that. How is that possible? How does the time just keep going so quickly? And I know that Holly here in the comments asked me just before I was going live. And in case anyone else is wondering about Michelle and Pink and Maine being in Florida, I just want to say she's completely fine. Thankfully, they weren't really impacted by the storm, as far as damage or anything else. So she hunkered down on Thursday, and it all turned out okay for her, thankfully, because there's so much terrible things in other parts of Florida and North Carolina and Georgia and Tennessee and all over the place. So, okay, so I got the darker R1.7 around the edges, and I'm going to go in with R0.5, which to me is a big jump, big difference, but it's on Sandy's chart, so I go ahead and use it. And I'm probably going to have to do a lot of scrubbing to get that to blend together. I'm trying to be a little careful because I don't want this red to go into the white of the hat, because then that's going to be really hard to cover. Right. So that's where we are with that. I know you live on a mountain, Lee. Yep. You're the person I think of with mountains. Oh, Peggy, you're in Austin. Did I know that about you? I'm not sure. I used to live in Austin as well. It's been since 2011 that we moved, but both of my kids were born in Austin. They're native-born Texans. I like to go back to Texas when we can, but it's been a little bit. When was I there last? It was the Thanksgiving of 2022, maybe? I'm not sure. I will say that Austin looks nothing like it did when I left it. It's totally different. Let's see. Roberta, what do you mean? When you color with Olo, just make sure your area you lay them down doesn't have anything the tip can touch. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like any other color that it could touch and bleed into? I'm not sure. Sounds like a good tip though. I'm adding a little bit of this darker down in my drips. And I'll blend it back again. Now, speaking of Olo markers and coloring, we also go live in the evenings on Tuesday and Thursday here at Pink and Maine, and that is with Caitlin, and she is a fantastic Copic and Olo colorist. And so if you want to watch those as well, those are 8:30 p.m. usually on Tuesday and Thursday. And she creates with the new releases, and she just does a wonderful job as well. So definitely recommend that. Okay, let's see. Anything else for red? I don't think so. I think that's all my red. So I'll go ahead and put those away. Now I'm going to wait on that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of bright pink and light pink to these little treats. Let me see. I'm going to start with my lighter pink. And do this bow. Do this little ice cream. The Santa is so cute. I just love it. I'm going to go ahead and add pink to these cheeks. And I actually, even though there's a line for the cheek, I'm going outside the lines because I like them to be bigger pink cheeks. And I just think it's a cute look. You can't really hardly see that. I think I might have used a different pink on my original, but I should have written it down. Why didn't I write down what I used? That was silly. Doing pink in here. Don't mind if I go out the lines a little because I'm going to cover it with chocolate anyway with brown. This part I'm putting glitter over, but I'll color it. And now I'm going to do the darker pink on these cheeks as well. So that's one thing I do a lot as well when I'm doing cheeks. Let me see if I can find another example. What was I just coloring with cheeks? Lori, do you remember what I was coloring last? Oh, these. Okay. Sorry for my arm. Well, you guys can't see my arm. That's good. Okay. So I was coloring this girl over the weekend. I made some coffee cards. This one was on the blog on Sunday for the coffee hop. And can you see how there's two colors of pink on her cheek? I do like a lighter pink, and then I go with a darker pink right in the center and then add the little dots. And I don't know. That's just my thing. I love to do that when I'm doing cheeks. I think it looks cute. Let's see. Jennifer, I love the Olo markers. So if you jump on that train, I think you'll be happy with it. They're very fun to color with. Let's see. Just looking real quick. Yes, Roberta, we have been close to each other many times. Oh, I see what you're saying, Roberta. If I'm just laying these markers here, make sure I'm not putting my little tip up against something. That would be a bummer, wouldn't it? Yes. Okay, gotcha. I think I'm all caught up with comments now. Let's see. I'm going to go in with a little more of this. And I'm going to do the lighter pink on his little nose. I think that, oh, the cherry. Forgot the little cherry at the top. I'll hold this up in just a second as well. And then we'll do the gray on the, I used a little bit of gray on where the white is just to give it a little color. And I did kind of go out the line there. So we'll see if I can push that back in a little. I have a CG1. I was going to do 0. Well, no, actually this is the edge. That's interesting. As I colored over that little bit of bleeding red, it made it worse, but oh well. Oh well, we will survive. Actually, I'm going to put glitter over that, and so we won't even know. It'll be totally fine.
What's the time zones for the Tuesday, Thursday lives?
Oh, time zone. Sorry. Tuesday, Thursday is 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So with Caitlin. Oops, I just saw another place for pink, but let me finish this first. Look what happened. Okay, this can happen. So when I went in with that gray up here, you can see how it made that red bleed even more because I must have gone way up to the edge with that red and it's just bleeding down. But that's okay. I'm going to go over it with glitter, so we're not going to worry about that. Brienne, thank you. So the link up for the hop, there's no link up to be in the prize drawing from yesterday, from Sunday. It was a coffee lovers hop, and it was for National Coffee Day. And the way you enter the Pink and Maine giveaway on our blog is by actually leaving a comment on the blog post itself. You want to say whether you're a coffee drinker or not, and if you are, what's your favorite coffee? I made up those questions. I don't know. I'm always curious. Anyway, and so what the link up is on that post is actually the blog hop itself. That's how Amy Saruda, who does those, does it. And it's different companies that joined the little coffee lovers hop. And so you can go and visit all of those. This looks like it's going to, this might be my marker that was blooping on me. It's like over full. I don't know. And by the way, I just took off both ends, but that doesn't do anything on an Olo. You know how when you, I don't know if you guys have ever had a Copic marker get to where it'll like drop off a big blob of ink and right after you're done coloring and then you want to cry and it's terrible. And one thing to do with Copics is you open both ends of the marker because it's one tube and that kind of equalizes the pressure. But Olos aren't made that way. I have two markers together here. So having both ends open does absolutely nothing. I just did it because my one end looked more wet than the other and it scared me. And sometimes, you know, I mentioned how you don't want to go back and forth with your markers because it adds pressure. But sometimes they just, you know, you get bonus ink in them and they're just a little full. And so you want to I just take some paper and kind of just scribble off on it to get some of that ink out of there. So it's literally just not so full. I don't know. I'm no expert on this stuff, but this is what's been working for me. Okay, I have everything colored, right? Am I missing anything here? All the main coloring is done, but I'm going to add some details now. Let's see. So Lee, you asked about the time zones. Thank you, Lori, for telling me. Glitter fixes everything. Pamela, yes. I agree with that message for sure. Okay, so I think all those are done. So the other things I like to add before we add our glitter, maybe I'll add the glitter first, just so that glitter doesn't stick to anything else I don't want it to. So I'm going to grab a little piece of scrap paper here. And as our friend Jen would say, I'm going to glitter all the things. Brianne, you're awesome. No need to apologize at all. Thank you for even mentioning it, because it made me think about talking about it. So thank you. All right, I got my quickie glue pen here. And I have some ice rink, which is this really pretty Prisma glitter from Pink and Maine. Ice rink, fine, super fine glitter. And I'm going to do some glittering on his hat and on the candies. So I'm just going to go around this with my little quickie glue pen. And I'm glad Jen's not watching, because she would not be happy with me doing it from a little container and paper rather than having my glitter into a like a Rubbermaid or whatever, a little Tupperware type of box. But, I don't have that for my Pink and Maine glitter yet. Anyway, because she does clean glittering, or she'll just dip it in. Let's see if I can dip this one in. There we go. I was gonna dump it out, but that worked much better. All right, so there's our little bit of glitter on his hat. Super fun. And then I'm going to go right on the swirl of my little lollipop here. Dip that in if I'm able. All right. And then the little stripes of this candy as well. Bat size glitter. I'll show you the Jen regulation glitter. I don't know why I did that. I did that because I like to use this as a little scoop, but then I always regret it because there's always residual glitter on that, which does not make me happy. All right, so there's our glitter. But if you guys watch Jen, she's the glitter queen, obviously. She has the shirts that prove it, which I have more of than Brianne, of course. If you guys don't know about the little silly rivalry between me and Brianne, we're friends with Jen Shirkus, and she sells her Shirk merch, which is her shirts and t-shirts, sweatshirts, all the fun things. And I like to pretend. No, I'm not pretending. It's true. It's true that I have more of those Shirk merch things than Brianne, and so we go back and forth about it and have fun with it. And Jen, of course, loves that as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some white. So I say gel pen, but I love to use this Posca pen. It's a white acrylic pen with a fine tip. It's 0.7 millimeter. It's called PC-1MR. And I just love it because I always have luck with it, where sometimes with gel pens, I don't know, I always have them not flow well for me, where this always flows well for me. And so I love it. So I'm going over that little fun little stripe on, oh, you can't really see, it's so far away. So I went over the little stripe on the top of the cherry. I'm going to put white on the sprinkles on his hat. And then I'm also going to do a little white dot in his cheeks and then some white over the tops of those red drips. And so I'll do that and then show you. I just thought those look cuter in white than they did when they were just black. Okay, and then I want to put little lines on the top of these, little highlights. Let's see, I did it like over these center parts. I will say this one's not flowing quite as well as my other one. That's okay, I'm almost done. Okay. And then I like to take a black gel pen, no, a black glaze pen. And I always do it off on my paper first so I don't get any weird gloopies. And I just do that right on his eyes to make his eyes have a little shine to them. And I just kind of am going out of the lines too much today, but that's okay. I think I'm going to grab a darker, I'm going to go in like with a real RV 1.5 and add some more dramatic pink to some of this. Now these tips on these Olos are not super fine for these little details, but I'm pretty sure Lori Craig said that Olo is eventually going to have some bullet nibs. I'm very much looking forward to that because that will be wonderful. So there's our little colored guy. He's pretty cute, right? Let's see. Yes, we find out on Friday. I don't know if Jen's even mentioned that yet, but there might be a little something. Oh, Roberta bought 2 shirk merches in our honor. I forgot. That's wonderful. Make a t-shirt blanket for your craft room. Oh my gosh, Lori, I love that idea. I could get all the purples. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's a fun idea. Purple for Libby. And oh, Roberta, you're so sweet. Okay. Hello, Nicole. Okay, so the rest of the card, I'm going to be using this fun, I think Brianne already linked it because she's awesome like that. But this background die, which is called Peppermint Cover Die. Brianne, in the future, I should probably send you like a little list so you know ahead of time, huh? So I think it makes a really fun background. And so I already die cut it from a white panel. And I'm actually going to put this, I'm getting a lot of die cut hairs lately, which drive me crazy. You guys know how to prevent those? I just don't even know. I don't know if it's because my plates are getting so eaten up or what. Yes, you are the link ninja. I know. You got it. Hi, Mindy. Mindy. Okay. I guess as long as I say the name, that helps you find it, huh, Brianne? Mindy, do you know how to not have hairs on your die cuts? I don't know. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this down on a white panel so I have something for it to be on to do my paper piecing. Yeah, the die is fun. There's also a version that's like a round, a circle version of this die cut that makes like a round peppermint kind of candy that is so cute. I love it. What did I say this was called? This one's called Peppermint Cover Die. And this is the Pink and Main glue, which is easy squeeze craft glue. And I just put some in a little bottle that Pink and Main also carries. And Pink and Main has the little needles, or not needles, pins that you can put in the top. And so it's all the Pink and Main things here. And I even put pink tape on this to remind me that it's the Pink and Main glue inside this bottle. One used for washi tape that I have a lifetime supply of, right? Sorry if you're hearing that like scrapey noise that I'm doing here, and it's not nice. It's a very scrape. Oops, I went out of the lines. A little scrapey sound when I'm doing this. Okay. Dusting your die with anti-static tool. Does that work? I'm not sure. I mean, where are you putting the tape that it would make it not have the hairs when you die cut? I'm not quite sure what you mean. All right, so I'm just taping that, or not taping, gluing that to an A2 panel just so that I have a place to glue my red candies. And I think I did it opposite of my original card. That's funny. Looks like on my original card, I used the red panel and filled in the white, but it doesn't matter. The candies are just going to be shifted a little. Oh, Lori's in the comments now. Yes, I'm going to keep buying washi tape. I'm not saying that I have a lifetime supply and I'm quitting. I just acknowledge the fact that I have a lot of it is all. Okay, so here's my plate that I was talking about. Is very, very cut up and crazy. And here is my red panel. And so now, of course, I will still have a red one that I can make another card with, which, by the way, also makes me wonder what happened to my other one from the last time I made this card. Anyway, and I just left it on there so I could lift it up and put them back in the right places easily. So Mindy, you're going to see Lori. She's going to Stamp Joy with me. So just FYI, since you have met before when you were in our car with your suitcase. So I just put some glue down into the well of the missing. You guys see what I'm doing, right? So I'm putting the red pieces in where they came out. And then I'll have this one that I can make another card. Maybe if Lori wants to make a card, she can take my red panel and put white in it and make another card. It would kind of keep going though, because then we'd have a leftover white piece, and you can't stop making candies at that point. You have to just keep filling them all in. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to do it this way. As I say that, I'm paper piecing it so that it's all level, but you could easily take this and just put it on a white background and done. You're done. You don't have to keep inlaying it the way I'm doing it, but I love paper piecing like this. I just think it's fun to have it all one level. You know what I'm saying? So. I'm making Lee start a new cube for all her pink and mane. My master plan. I have to do an evil laugh, right? My master plan of getting Lee to have all the pink and mane. Wahaha. Yeah, I love inlaid. So cool. And this is an easy one. These are big pieces, and it's really easy and quick to pop them in here. And this is really strong liquid glue, so I'm probably even putting more glue than I need to. The paper hairs on this red are not so bad. Maybe it's my white paper. Could it be a paper specific issue? Hello, Sheila. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So did anyone do anything fun and exciting this past weekend? Oops. My big fingers aren't wanting to do that one well. There we go. Ooh, Brianne even realized or figured out that I'm using stop sign cardstock. Good job. Pink and Mane has some nice colors of cardstock. A small-ish line, but I like the colors a lot. And all the colors are named after parts of a city, since Pink and Main is kind of like a street sign crossing or whatever, a crossroads of streets. All the I can't think of words right now. All the colors of inks and papers are names that are like that. So stop sign and the park and lakeside and all that kind of stuff. So really cute. It was your hubby's B-Day, Lee. That's fun. And Susan was with us at Crop and Create, and so was Pamela, and so was Peggy. Yeah, that was a fun weekend, huh? So fun. All right, so there's our little background looking really cute. And then, of course, the alternate is just to put it over top of a paper, also really cute. And now I want to add glitter to this as well. So I'm putting it along the white stripes of our candy swirls. And some of it's going to end up being covered by different things, but that's okay. I'm just going to do them all rather than worry about that as I'm doing this part. So for this one, I am going to have to actually pour the glitter on and make a glittery mess, but that's okay. I could tell there was going to be a little bloop of it there. Kind of fix that. And of course, when this is, before it dries, you're going to see, it's going to look more globby, I guess is the word, because of this glue. But that glue will end up clear and you won't even tell it's there. And once this is done, I'll kind of wipe off all the rest of the glitter. That's where I don't want it. Oops, except for I just ran my finger right through the glue. That was silly. Super silly. I need to cut this stupid little lid thing off of this because I'm just keeping a pin in it, which is working fine. Okay. Bear with me while I get all this done. You can see what I'm doing, right? There's stray glitter that will wipe off, but I'm waiting till all the glue, the glue with the glitter is dried, but I'm just trying to line these white stripes all on kind of the same side of the stripe. Just for another extra fun thing. And because I love glitter. I know, what are you guys, how do you guys feel about glitter? I know some friend in the comments wanted to bathe in a bin of it, but do you like it or do you not like loose glitter? Are you adverse to it? I know I'm probably going to have sparkly eyebrows or something later today when we're at dinner, but that's okay. Rubber band around it. That's a great idea. Thank you. Around my little flappy thing is what she meant. Or I could just take it off and put it in a drawer in case I want it later. I said cut it off, but there's no need to cut it. Yes, just take it off, Libby. Roberta's like, what are you even talking about? Just take it off. Glitter, glitter, glitter. All right. So that's where we are. There's a lot of stray glitter on there, but I will brush that off a little better once I get my glitter dry, and then it will be good to go. I'm going to clean up this little mess. Then I'll catch up on my comments here. There we go. I was trying to put my pin in the top of my bottle and having issues. This glitter is so pretty. I love it. Trying not to get it everywhere on me, but good chance I will. Okay, sparkly stripes. I'm going to look at your comments real quick. I'll put this on here so you have something to look at. Ice rink, superfine glitter. Yes, thank you. Let's just do this while I'm sitting here. So this is all you have to do. I don't know why I said cut it. I didn't mean cut it earlier. You just take that off and then I can keep it in case later I want it. But I'm using my pin to be the stopper in there. But I didn't have a pin in it at first and I was actually using the little lid. So anyway. So Brienne doesn't even mind when her glitter gets everywhere. You know, It just matches your sparkling personality, right, Rianne? That's all it is. Kind of dust off some of this. I'm going to go over my trash and really... Ooh, I made it go everywhere. Okay. Anyway, once that's totally dry, I can get some of that extra off. I have a way to make you go running to the shop for all the cuteness. Well, that's good. That keeps me employed, right? That's all I'm saying. All right. So the other thing I did with this, I love this dye as well. And by the way, I kind of love the pink dyes at Pink and Main. I think they're so fun. They're so cute. They're so, I don't know. I wish that it was purple, but you know, what can you do? All right. So this is called, well, I can't tell. I have previous rectangles in there covering up the name. It is called Stitched Rectangle Frames Dies because it actually cuts frames. So when you cut this one, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frames all at once. And so I did already cut it out. And these are all the frames I got. They're all nested together. In the very center, you get a little solid rectangle that you could use for a message or something, right? But I'm going to use the outermost frame. I'll put all these in the package along with the others. I need to make some that need smaller frames because I have so many now. And I'm gonna layer that right around the edge just to give it this nice finished edge to my little candy. So can you see that without the glares? So I just love how it makes your card look more finished. I mean, there's already a stitching on this die, the candy die, but it does have that little gap there. And I just think putting that little rectangle edge around it just makes it look even more finished. So that's why I'm doing that. I was just looking. Mine looked thick on the other one, but I don't think I doubled it up. I think it's just one. But you could even double it up if you wanted a really thick frame. Putting more glue. Today is gluing all the things. Okay. Just getting that all lined up and on there nicely. Let's see, should I put my block on here? I don't know if it would mess up my glitter. That little spot still bugging me. I have a heavy block that I put when I'm gluing things together like this, which is my big honkin' share handmade kindness block, but I don't want it to mess up my glitter. I don't want to chance it. All right, so we're in the home stretch here. We have our little ice cream guy that we're going to put on there. And now we need a message. I put my needle in my glue one more time. And for the message, I go back to the original stamp set, and it does have one lone little message in it. Sweet holiday wishes. Lori, I just realized one thing I need is embossing gun. Actually, just leave it there and I'll hand you this to emboss. Okay. I have an assistant in the room today. It's very nice. So I'm taking the sweet holiday wishes. You can put any kind of message on here, of course. And my little Misty, which is down below. I'm just going to have you take it once I get it stamped. And I have some scrap paper here that I'm just going to trim. Put it in here. I don't need to line that up straight for any reason. I don't know why I was just thinking about that. I'm going to get these out of the way, by the way. Oops. Okay. To make sure I'm on screen. So in my mini Misty, I do have a sticky mat. I have the waffle flower sticky mat in here, which is nice to keep my paper down. I'm going to give it a little rub of anti-static powder. Let's see, how does this work? I can't remember. I have this one from, oh, there we go. I made a ton of it come out accidentally. This is a powder tool from Pink and Main. Okay. That's kind of ridiculous how much I had come out. Okay. And I'm going to be doing platinum ring embossing powder. I like the color of this one a lot. I have my Versamark here, but Pink and Main does have embossing ink as well that I forgot that I could have grabbed. I'm still learning all the Pink and Main things. Look at all that. So much powder. And I'm just doing it a couple times to make sure that I have a good amount of ink on there. And now I need another piece of paper. Lori is standing here patiently awaiting this piece to go heat for me. I think it looks pretty good. I don't see any. There's one little thing I might want to flick away. Oops, wrong end. So this is the, I don't know, the tool that Pink and Main has that has the pokey end, and it has the wax at the other end. And I love it. I use it all the time. Okay. Vanna White will now go and do my heating for me. A wobbler. Do I need to put a wobbler on this? I have one. Should I do it? I never think to do wobblers, actual wobblers, but that would be so cute because, I mean, who doesn't want a wobbling ice cream, right? Hi, Leslie from British Columbia. But it's beautiful up where you are, maybe. Let's see. Any other questions I missed or comments? Not sure what you didn't like creating with. Oh, probably glitter. You're probably talking about glitter. I'm like, what doesn't Sheila like creating with? Yeah, Pink and Main has some really beautiful and interesting embossing powders. So you definitely want to check that out. Another fun thing at Pink and Main, which I want to play with more for you guys, is flock. Do you guys remember flock from back in the olden days? I just love it. And Pink Main has a ton of it, and it's so fun. Peggy, I think you asked about this tool I'm using on my Misty. This is from a local, an independent stamp store up in Michigan called Scrappy Chic. And they make this, and it has Michigan on it. I'm originally from Michigan, so it makes me happy. And so I just use that to add the pressure. There's all kinds of different tools like this, but I just happen to love this one from Scrappy Chic. And then let me show you. Thank you, Lori, for doing that, by the way. This is the card that I made for the blog on Sunday for the coffee hop, and I used the sparkly flock on it. And look at how fun that is. I just did that with a glue tube, glue, not this glue, but I used a different glue pen. And actually, I think I did use this one actually, and put the flock on there. And this one has glitter and flock in it. And I just thought it was fun. So anyway, I'll have to do a live with some flock at some point. Sparkly flock. I mean, what can get better than that, right? Okay, I'm going to clean that later because you guys don't need to wait for me to do that. I know. Flock is, everything new is old. No, why is it? Everything old is new again. I haven't played with flock in a long time, but it's fun stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of my stitched rectangle dies, and I think it was maybe this size that I liked for this. Yes. And I'm going to tape this down. My paper's a little warpy from the embossing, so I'm holding it. Leslie loves the flock. She knows how cool it is. And Pink and Main, there's just so many things I have to show you guys. That's why I have to go live every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I guess, so I can show you all the things because I have so many new things I want to play with. But we have something called stickies, and they come sticky, and you just put the flock on, and then you're good to go. And I think they're so fun too. So. So many fun things to show you. Okay, there's my cute little message. Sweet holiday wishes. This is that color that what did I say the powder is called? Platinum Ring. It's not quite silver, not quite gold. It's platinum. So I think it's pretty. Okay, so gather all the things back together here. I put this on flat. I'm not sure my glue is completely dry yet, but we're going to forge ahead anyway. Thank you, Peggy. You're so nice. Leah's saying, thanks for the links from Brianne. Are you sure? Are you sure you're saying thank you, or is that going to just, no, it's very helpful, right? Roberta, I will do that for sure, but it's basically every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, but I will send that to you, my friend. I really should have looked at where I was putting Santa before I just glued that down willy-nilly. It's a little higher than before, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this on while this is attaching, and we'll put some foam on the back of him. Actually, I will use my, and I'm sorry if you guys hear my chair creaking. I have a very creaky chair. So sorry. This is the foam that Pink and Main carries that I have fuzzies on. Oops. But it's gigantic. Isn't it wonderful? I think this is from the dress you're working on. While my sister-in-law Lori is here, she's helping to, maybe, we'll see if we can figure it out, but take in a dress that my daughter bought to wear to homecoming. So, because Lori sews, Libby does not. So I'm putting them over there because on my original, it kind of overlapped that. And that's up a little bit more. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's see, put it about right there. Cute, so cute. And then the very last thing to finish this cute little card, let me put my needle back in my glue. I don't want my glue to dry out. Are some enamel dots. Another thing, Pink and Main has a ton of cute things as embellishments. These are the glitter enamel dots. And I already used some of the pinks on my other card, but I love them, those light pinks. And I got kind of some fuzzies in there. That's kind of weird. Okay. So I'm going to take a couple down here, I think. Oh, I really should brush off that glitter before I do that. I think most of it came off. I think we're good to go. Put one like right here. Put a small one down here. And then I don't have the really big ones. I used up all the really big ones already, but like right here. It's one of my hairs. Gross. Then I'll put one here. And right here. It's all just random. I don't know. I'm just randomly putting these little yummy sparkly dots. Okay. That's our card, folks. Kind of cute, isn't it? I think it is. Let It Be glitter enamel dots. Is that what they're called? It is. Let It Be. Huh. Brianne's looking at all the details. Didn't even realize. Anyway, all right. So that's the card, and I will try to get it posted. I'm very bad at posting things, but I will in case you want to look at it. Let me go back to my face. So I am Create with Libby on Instagram. So I will post that card there. Hello, Paper Crafters Workshop. Oh my goodness. That is a wonderful store in Canada, in Ontario. So if you are in that area, stop by. I need to go up to her store someday. That'd be so fun. I faux sew on my cards. That's right. I have all this stitching. I don't have any thread, but I have all that stitching on my cards. Yes, there will be a replay if you want to watch it. So again, I will be live every as long as there's nothing else going on, most Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern going forward. So this is the start of that new thing. And I have a million fun things from Pink and Maine that I want to share with you and show you. So I would love it if you'd tune in and join me. And Brianne, you're so sweet. She just posted my, I used to be Stampin' Libby and now I'm Create with Libby. So I wanted to have an Instagram that was just cards and just crafting stuff. And so that's my Create with Libby account. And that's where I will post this card so you can see it with all my bad photography skills. And thank you for tuning in. And maybe I will see some of you again on Wednesday. I would love that. So take care, everybody. Bye.